All right, welcome back to By Design, an Acast Network podcast. I'm your host, Whitney Young, and I am so glad you're here. I'm going to keep this episode intro short because I just want to get to the meat and potatoes, if you will, which is my guest today, Kari Riley. You might know her from TikTok or Instagram. She is a very established model and also a queer content creator and a friend of mine, and someone who uses her platform to spread queer joy and hope and inspiration, which are all things I can get behind. So without further ado, this episode is, let's do it. Let's get into the episode. Oh, one thing, if you do enjoy this episode as much as we enjoyed filming it and making it, if you want to rate and review, that would be awesome. And let's do it. Okay, so hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
Great. It's not so like funny. We haven't been talking for the past 30 minutes.
It's so funny every time doing this where it's like, how are you? Good to see you. And we've been sitting here for a good
welcome to
20 minutes.
By Design.
Yes, welcome to By Design. I'm just so excited that you're here.
I'm excited. I'm excited that you're here. You're in LA.
I know. I know.
Welcome.
I flew out here to do a few interviews, and it's
apparently
exciting.
all the queer girlies are in LA. So
apparently. Yeah. Wait, hang on 1 second. Just gotta. I feel like I'm
slightly
sliding off to the side. Okay.
Wait, don't be shy. You can get a little closer to me.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Okay, now we're good. Yay. Now we can dive in. So a lot of people know you as model, supermodel Kari, and TikToker and all of that. But I feel like I want to start from kind of the beginning and get some info, the backstory on where you're from and who is Kari Riley? Just give me your elevator pitch.
What a loaded question.
I know, right? So many ways to answer.
Wow. Well, the backstory is I am from Colorado.
Okay.
And my whole life I grew up in a more low income family. I would say that I didn't come from the most desirable circumstances. So I think that's important when I describe myself because it's given me a thirst for more because I would look at, my family and our circumstances and know that I just felt like I never fit into that. I was like, I want to go to college. I want to do something purposeful with my life. And I always had a really strong desire to go to school because I wanted to be a teacher, actually.
My God.
So my job that I would want to actually be if I wasn't modeling or doing TikTok or any of that is to be a teacher.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I did really well in school and I studied and I ultimately went to college for special education because I loved to work with special needs kids.
Kari, wait, this is crazy because I know you. This is not our first time meeting, and I didn't know any of that.
Oh yeah, so
cool.
I most of my jobs were nannying. I nannied and I worked in daycares and with special needs kids and teacher's assistant. So when I actually enrolled in college, I went for special education, which you have to take psychology courses.
Okay, sure.
Then I fell in love with psychology and I was like, okay, I'm going to get a psychology degree. And while this was happening, all throughout all this time, I was still modeling. So I started to model my first photo shoot was at 11. Because
oh my gosh.
Somebody scouted me at the pool. I was there and it was a former model and she came up to my mom and she was like, I'm not trying to be creepy or anything, but your daughter's really beautiful and I'm an aspiring photographer, a former model.
Wow.
Can I take photos of her? Should we do a photo shoot? And I was like, oh yeah,
let's go.
I'm down. I've always been a super feminine girly princess. And I was like, yes, absolutely.
Who doesn't want to do that at 11 years old?
Yeah,
play dress up.
She put me in all the sports and I didn't care about any of them. I was like, no. So when this came up, I was like, I want this. Fast forward at 14, I officially signed to a modeling agency. And when I was 15, I was signing a contract to go to Japan. So I went to Japan I turned 16 like a month before I left.
Okay.
And so I was 16 and I lived in Japan for 3 months modeling. In the summer,
Oh
like
God.
in between school. Like I was still going to school
Yeah.
and then I would go in the summer.
Where in Japan? Tokyo?
Osaka.
Oh my gosh.
Osaka. So it's
Wow.
it's like the next biggest city, and I don't know how many hours away it is from Tokyo, but it's also very beautiful.
Wow.
And then when I turned, what was it, 17? I went to Chicago for a while, did modeling there. And then when I was 18, I graduated and I decided to go to Greece. So I spent a few months modeling there.
Okay.
And then, life story.
Yeah,
and
no, we
then
need
I went
this.
back to school. And what happened during that time was I started to model in Miami and LA. And while I was going to school, I'm sure people are familiar with the classes that are like, if you miss more than 3, your grade starts to drop a letter.
Yeah.
I don't know. But so basically I would book a job in Colombia or Ecuador and I'm like gone for a week and I'm just, my grade is just, I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
So at that point I was like, okay, I have done 3 semesters. I just need to focus. Like I'm making more money than I would if I was a teacher.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So I was like, well,
Which is a
okay.
problem in and of itself, that teachers don't get paid a little bit better.
Yeah, don't even get me started on that. But I mean, the thing is like, I don't know. I had this idea that I wanted to be first generation to get a degree.
Okay. Yeah.
In my family, but also at the same time, like if I'm making more money to support my family, that's probably better.
Right.
You know?
Well, yeah, yeah. And it's also, going to school is something that you can do literally at any
Anytime.
point. I mean, I've seen stories of people being like 85-year-old woman gets her bachelor's degree. So like
Exactly.
there's no time limit for that.
No.
Which-
There's definitely a time limit for modeling.
There is, exactly.
So
if you have to prioritize one or the other,
It's being hot. Always prioritize being hot.
Right, exactly.
And, all that.
Yes.
So really, I mean, what really helped me like start my career and save money was, I mean, I don't know if I've been on a podcast once before and I talked about this, but I stayed in like model apartments and
Oh my God, I've heard about those.
here's the thing. I don't think people understand like these days what like model and promoter apartments are, because I don't know if they really exist very much anymore.
They definitely did like 10 to 15 years ago, because I heard a lot about them.
They're scary places, guys. Like model apartment is like you've got 2 bunk beds in one room. You're like sharing a room with 4 girls. You don't know any of them. Like you're still paying $40 a night usually, which adds up. Like, but they front the money, so. And then they take it out of your modeling checks. It's like it's a whole scam, to be completely honest.
Like it.
It's a scam.
Sometimes they'll get girls. I had a friend who was in a model apartment in New York, but they'll like take them off to China or wherever, different countries, and be like, just dump them in these apartments.
For sure.
And
I mean, I was lucky in Japan because I actually had like my own apartment, but it was like a studio apartment, but it was cool because I was by myself.
It was your own, yeah.
It was good. But here, I mean, that's a scam. So I ultimately decided to go to a promoter apartment, which basically means that you live in the apartment for free with other models, and to pay your rent, you have to go to the club three times a week for 2 hours each time. So it was like midnight to 2 a.m. I'd be at the club 3 times a week, which honestly at 19, 20, 21, those ages, I'm like,
it's not the worst.
I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I'm doing
That's
it
the
anyway.
time.
I would dance. I wouldn't even drink every time. I just like dance, hang out.
You were the one doing the white girl dance.
I'm just like on the tables. Honestly, it's it's embarrassing.
There's probably footage somewhere.
Honestly, it has shaped who I am today. So it's like no regrets. But
absolutely.
Yeah, all of that has, helped me kind of just like sink into this weird life I have in LA. And if I wasn't going out and meeting all these promoters and doing these parties, I actually would have never met Laura, because I did meet Laura out at like some big dinner at Tao before.
Oh my gosh,
like a
that's
promoter
right.
party.
Yes,
So
yes.
like we met in that scene.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's all for a reason, even though Laura and I like never want to go out anymore.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we go out because we're like, we have to go out. Like we need to
be social.
We need to be social.
Yeah.
Like we want friends, but we're not going to make friends by sitting inside every night.
Right. And it's so easy when you're in a relationship, especially a long-term relationship, like you guys, it's so easy to get into that flow of like, we have each other and we don't really need any more socialization than this.
Literally. Like we dip in and we dip out.
Yeah.
I think it's healthy.
And I think that's a good balance too, to just be like, we'll go out for like an hour or two and then go home and like watch our show or whatever, you know,
and do what we want to do, which is just like, I don't know. We're both very spiritual as well. So I feel like we are easily affected by people's energy.
Oh yeah. And for sure.
So we like need to be home and kind of like, we'll always say, like, Laura's going to laugh when she sees this. We always say like, universe, like I disconnect myself, I cut cords with all the, like we like
that sounds like Laura.
No, literally we left, we were at Walmart. I paused for the laugh. I haven't been to Walmart in so long, but we were driving back from Joshua Tree and we went into Walmart and we were returning something. It was crazy. As soon as we left, we were like, that was crazy. Like I cut all energy from the people in Walmart. And just in general, like I cut all energy ties I don't need. And then honestly, like within 5 minutes of saying that, like this story is not to be public, but somebody else, like we were able to like cut them out of our lives, like literally within the same 10 minutes of saying that.
Wow.
So, you know.
Okay. So wait, it's I cut all ties.
You're gonna have to text Laura and ask her. But yeah, basically, you know, just cutting the energetic ties.
So it's not like a special saying, it's just but saying out loud.
Yeah.
I cut the ties with that.
Yeah. Like I like basically it's like saying like I do not accept this energy. Okay. Or what do people say?
Yeah.
I want my aura points back.
Oh my God, that's right. Yeah, there's like the TikTok right now that's like, how many aura points did I lose for doing blah, blah, blah.
We're a little old for that, by the way, because apparently that's just the lingo. My nephew is 12. He's almost 12. And you know what he asked me?
What?
Because I was like, oh, like the slang that you guys use. I kind of like the one about aura. Like the points, I'm like trying to be cool, like cool auntie, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, do you even know what aura means? I was like, bro, aura didn't start because of your slang. No. I know what aura means. It's a vibe. It's energy. He was like, okay, fine, you know. I was like, what? He's like, okay, you're heck?
That is, wait, so what does aura mean for the Gen
I think
whatever?
that I think Gen Alpha, he's Gen Alpha. I think he thinks that they created aura. I was like, that word existed before.
Yeah.
You were born.
Every generation does this, because I remember saying things to my parents when I was a teenager and being like, wait, you know that word or you know about that? And they're like, you didn't come up with all this stuff.
I'm just waiting for Groovy to come back.
Oh, Groupie. Okay.
Groovy.
Oh. I was like, Groupie? That's so random.
Yeah, actually, we're in search of some groupies.
I really want Groupie. I want a Groupie to come back.
Honestly, I would
Groovy. Okay, that makes sense.
Kicking off my shoes.
Yeah, take off the shoes. We can definitely.
By the way, you would find an Airbnb with a green velvet couch.
Oh my God, I'm so glad that you noticed, because I was so excited. I didn't book it for this, but debatable. But maybe subconsciously. I was like, that's the one.
So gay of you.
It's like the bisexual thing is like,
it's the staple. And then like after that came out, like all these celebrities were like posting on their green velvet couches. I'm like, is that your way of coming out?
That's right. Yeah. Emrata, whatever. Yeah. It was a bunch of people.
I personally like the blue velvet vibe.
That's nice. It's
Her voice went up like 2 octaves.
Nice. Yeah, that's nice.
All right, that's why her and Laura are friends.
It's acceptable.
They hate my blue couch idea. It's fine.
Oh, no, I think green couch supremacy, but blue is a solid second.
It's fine.
For sure.
Not all people have taste.
Anyway. Groovy. Okay.
Groovy. Moving on.
Groovy. Okay, so wait, going back to your backstory. Back to you. I want to know. Let's get into like some queer stuff since we brought up the couch here and all that bisexuality.
Leaning into that.
Yes. Was there a distinct moment that you can recall growing up when you were like, I don't think I'm straight? Was it like a moment or was it over time? And how do you identify bi or pan?
So, lots of questions.
So many questions.
Okay,
I'm rapid
fire. I have a lot to say. So, I identify as pan to the people who understand
Who
that.
know what that means. Yeah.
And I get a lot of discourse, honestly, online about me and my labels, and people always have something to say.
Yeah.
Genuinely, even realizing I was queer, like I didn't ever feel any different. So for me, and I'm very lucky to say that because I think I come from a place where I didn't have prejudice, like, embedded in my mind about it. So for me, I am just open, like I could date a she, he, them. It doesn't really matter to me. I've never had a specific type. I just love who I love.
It's
so
the
for
person.
me, it's pan. Yeah, it's the person. Yeah. But also, there's a lot of people who I don't really feel like explaining that to. And if they say, oh, are you bi? I'll just be like, yeah.
Yeah. I do the same thing where I'm like, if someone says bi, yes. Pan, yes. Queer, yes. Like,
yeah, exactly.
The only
all the same
time I would correct someone, I think, is if they said lesbian, because I'm not.
Exactly. I have
not
the
a
same.
lesbian. But
the
otherwise,
same. But
fluid works.
Actually, to ask, I have a question then. Because so if you're bi and you're dating a man, you'd be like, yeah, I'm like in a straight relationship.
Yeah.
And then, but then, like, if you're dating a woman, like, is it easier to be like, I'm in a lesbian relationship?
In a lesbian.
But see, I say that sometimes because it's easy, not because I'm trying to, like,
Co-opt.
say I'm a lesbian or, like, appropriate or, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Genuinely, like, I know I'm not a lesbian, but, for example, Laura and I, like, our scene in LA actually isn't really with a ton of queer people until recently. Like, we're more in, like, the fashion industry scene, I suppose you could say. And when people see us and we run into friends, they always say, oh, it's the lesbians. It's the lesbians. I am not going to correct them and be like, no, it's the pansexual and the lesbian. Like, it just doesn't feel like it matters. Yeah.
You just go around to each person who said that and just be like, actually?
No, yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not going to do that. So, like, sometimes I'm like, yeah, I'm in a, you could say a queer relationship or we're lesbian relationship. Yeah, that works. Yeah. But I just, for me, all of that feels like, I don't know, I hope this doesn't come across as disrespectful, but for me personally, it just doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't matter to me.
And I think that's fine. I think it's that you are allowed to have, like, each individual is allowed to have their own experience of that and how they feel about it. And if it matters to you, then it matters to you, and, like,
I'll respect that.
it.
I will. Yeah.
But
when it comes to me, like,
exactly.
And my mom, it's funny because she is the one person besides all my friends, strangers, like, who has never asked me any questions about my sexuality, not ever. Like, she is so cool. I love my mom.
Oh, in a good way. Okay, so it's not like in
a great way. And no, because she'll say, and I'll say, oh, people always ask me this or that, and she gets, like, defensive, and she's like, well, why are they asking you anything? The only question people should be asking you is, are you happy?
Mic drop. That's it. That's
Period.
It. Mama Riley. Mic drop.
Yeah, no, she literally, like, when I guess came out to my mom. Yeah. All it was is I texted her and I said, oh, I have a crush on someone. And she said, oh, who? And I said, this girl, Laura. And she just said, cute, send pics with, like, a purple heart emoji.
Oh, that's amazing.
And
as it like, should be.
Yeah, like, for her, she was like, okay, like, I don't need to come out. Like, she's just like, whatever. Which can lead me to your other question. What maybe were the signs?
Yes. Yeah.
What were the signs? This is a fun one because it's hilarious when you start to realize them. Yeah. So if there are any baby gays or, newly queer people out there, have fun, because you're going to start realizing a lot of things, and you're going to be like, gosh. Let's see. A good one to start with, let's just start strong.
Yeah.
Lesbian corn.
Ah, yes.
Lesbian corn.
Yeah. Seeking that out is definitely not a straight thing to do.
Tumblr gifts. Okay. This is like maybe a little bit of, I don't know what this is our generation, but
yeah, you're like the youngest millennial.
I'm a zillennial.
Okay.
I'm in the years in between.
Okay. So we probably have a little bit of a different, like, I actually missed the Tumblr, like the queer Tumblr era. I wasn't.
That's where it was, you know, because if you went to like, can I say Pornhub on the podcast?
Yeah. Go ahead. Why not? This is real talk.
If you went to Pornhub, it was graphic as a child.
Yeah.
You can't start there.
No.
So, sorry, Mom. You know, Tumblr, it was easy. It was just GIFs. It was like you would type in like lesbian, and it would be like a little like two girls kissing GIF, whatever. Okay, so fine. That's how it started. Whatever. I think.
Yeah.
But I've also always been super hyper feminine.
Yes.
You know, so that, I don't know. I think that's queer in itself.
I agree with that completely. We could have a whole discourse on that alone, because I agree. And I've recently come around to that.
Yeah.
Because yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like it's because I love all things feminine. Like, no, I don't really care about the football game.
Right.
I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to talk to a girl about girly things.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do. And I actually made a TikTok on my way out of the house saying,
today?
Yeah, literally. So this is great because I made a TikTok saying, you know, I used to, when I was a baby gay, be like, how can I appear more gay? What can I do? Like the rainbow tattoo, all of these things. When I realized, like, if you want to be seen for who you are, which in my case was queer, then be yourself.
Yes.
Because it's going to radiate.
Yes.
It's going to radiate out, and people are going to see you for who you are if you're being authentic. And it's just so funny because you work so hard to, like, even in your case, like if you were trying to dress more mask, and like for me, like, what do I do to appear this way? Just like stop thinking about it.
Right. Just
be yourself.
Just be.
And then your energy is just going to be that, which is you.
Yeah. And there's so many, like, just energetically and body language wise, there's so many things that do give off that aura.
Yeah, exactly.
Going back to aura.
Yeah, aura points.
But like eye contact.
Aura points.
Yeah, gay aura. Oh my God, that could be like a whole thing. Gay aura points. How do we get more of them? How do we manifest?
You have rings on every finger?
Yes.
Gay aura points. Rainbow tattoo? Gay aura points.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, but I remember, so last summer when I was in LA, and
I can't believe it's been that long.
I know, right? And I was tinkering with moving back out here. The first time that I met both you and Laura, but the first time I met Laura in person, and we'd been like friends from just social media, she was expecting me to be so much more like mask and boyish from like the way I dressed at the time, or just like TikTok, whatever. And she was like, you're like more feminine than I expected. Like was really taken aback. And that really like gave me pause in my own gender expression journey.
Absolutely.
To be like, I don't have to do, you know, like it's okay to be femme.
Like I don't have to do this much.
Yeah. I don't have to do this much because I definitely have a mask side, but I'm not mask. I'm not like a soft mask.
I think also like being with your partner has also just helped you sink into yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Which that happens, I think, always. I mean, even with me and Laura, I think she became more masculine in the way she presented when we started, the further into our relationship we got, you know. And I just think for me it was more so transitioning from like a male gaze in how I dressed or whatever to like just not even a female gaze, just my gaze. Me.
Oh, I love that so much. Yes, my gaze. What do my gaze also like GAYS?
My gaze. No, I got it.
My gaze.
What I need like a
just in case.
Can you put that in?
I'm sure I can. Yes. No, but it's like a whole thing, and it's an ongoing journey, and it's also like it's okay to go through periods of time where maybe you do feel more femme or you do feel more masc,
100%.
and then you just
also,
like feel it out.
It just changes with my cycle. If I'm in my if I'm in my luteal phase, like I'm a little bit more masc. I'm like don't want to go out. I don't want to wear makeup. I want to wear baggy sweats. Like don't touch me at all.
100%. That is so that's so true.
Exactly. So being feminine is gay.
Yeah. So if you're femme, like you're gay enough, you're queer enough, you're bi enough, whatever
exactly.
it is.
Exactly.
So we've mentioned Lara a few times, and I'm guessing if you're watching this and you know who Kari is, you know who Lara is.
Package deal.
Yeah, exactly. Our favorite dynamic duo. Lara is your first relationship with a woman.
Yes, ma'am.
And did you date before? Like, I'm guessing you did have boyfriends or things like that. Okay.
Yeah, of course. Well, I dated men. I had slept with women prior to Lara.
Oh, you had?
Yes.
Stop me in my
News
tracks.
flash, people.
Oh my goodness.
No, but like that's the funny thing, because I understand that the term compet is usually exclusively for those who identify as lesbian, but I will say that, like, I want to use it a little bit. Can I use it a little bit?
I think again, like, it goes back to what we were saying.
I don't want everybody to gatekeep things from me, because I do feel that way. Because the truth is like, I would have sex with a girl, and then for me, I was just like, it's fine. Like, doesn't everybody do that? Like, it's fine. Like,
classic.
Everybody like makes out with their friends every time they go out, or like they sleep with girls, etc. And like, and not just like I mean, just like being a girl, you know? And like, I think, I mean, gosh, I was really into Zumba in high school, and my Zumba instructor, I had the craziest crush on her.
Really?
You know, like, I had major crushes on girls and like whatever, but I never ever questioned my sexuality. And I do think compet has to play into that, just because of the idea of like, I've always been told since I was young, you're so beautiful, all the boys are gonna be chasing you, like just I was fed that a lot. And I started modeling, like I said, when I was like very, very young. I was sexualized early as well. And when you're sexualized in media, it's never towards other women, you know? So there's like a lot of things that I think slowed me down in my realization to my queerness.
Makes sense.
And I think that it's just funny to look back at, like, for example, having the crush on my teacher, or watching the corn, or like kissing my
watching corn grow.
Love watching corn grow. kissing Hillary Duff posters goodnight.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's definitely a lot of things. Or like, I would be in friendships where I didn't realize until the friend would say, like, it's not like we're in a relationship or something.
Oh my God.
And you have to realize, and you're like, oh, like.
Yeah. But you feel like the same. Yeah. It's like, this is it. Looking back, I had girlfriends like in middle school and high school and college, like before it's like, looking back, there were certain best friends where it was like, that was a relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
Without sex.
No, it's true. Because but my sister, like, when I was coming out, my sister was like, I knew it. That's what she said. I knew it. And then when I was in middle school, she'd be like, Kari's a lesbian. Like, she used to, like,
oh yeah,
like, your sister knows, you know? But it's crazy because, like, all of that, and I still was not fully aware. So yes, Lara's my first relationship, though. And it really happened so naturally. Like, I wasn't seeking it, like, at all.
That's the best way.
She wasn't seeking a relationship either. And it was just kind of meant to fall into place. And I never once questioned my sexuality until like a year of us dating. And then I was like, I guess I'm kind of gay. Yeah. Like, I would literally be like,
a little gay.
You guys, I would ask my gay best friend, like, his name is Jordan. Shout out, Jordan. I was like, do I get to celebrate Pride? And he was like, yes, bitch. Like, you're gay. I was like, oh, like, I don't know. It felt like a fraud.
Yeah.
And like, you know, me and Lara didn't post on TikTok until we were like 2 years into our relationship. Just FYI. And also for all the people who are like, this is for clout. Like, Like, what's the Taylor
we've
Swift
been
line?
here.
Like, I love you in secret, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been here. But yeah, it took me that long, like almost a year and a half to be like, oh, okay.
So were you still like, I'm just a straight person who fell for a woman?
No, I mean,
Or-
no, I didn't think that. I just didn't think about it.
You just didn't, okay.
That's my thing. Is like, I didn't feel different at all.
That's
I still
kinda
felt
nice.
like me.
That's nice. And I hope, like, I want society to get to a point where, like, we do just exist and love who we love. And it is just like that. Like, where
Yeah.
you don't have to, I don't know, like, not saying there's obviously nothing wrong with labeling things, but
No.
it would be nice if there was no default.
No need to come out.
Yeah, no need to come out. And you're just like, oh, I'm in love with this person.
I think a lot of it has to do with people's reactions as well. So if there, by chance, is somebody listening that has a loved one who comes out to you, like, the best thing you could do is not really react.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think you should be overly supportive, and obviously you shouldn't be unsupportive. But for example, my mom's reaction is perfect.
It really is.
It's
It really
perfect.
was.
And I
that
think
is
that's
perfect.
probably led me to feeling like it's cool. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
It's normal.
And you also, I'm guessing, just because if your mom is that way, you must have grown up in a household where there wasn't homophobia and there wasn't
Well,
like...
the funny thing is like, I mean, like most people, I don't have a relationship with my dad. But he was actually kind of like not homophobic, but like he was a judgmental guy. Like he was a little bit racist and like, but my mom is the opposite. My mom is so open. She was always like, you know, you should learn about every religion and decide what works for you. Like, she
That
would
is
let me go to
awesome.
church with people or do whatever I wanted. She's very like spiritual and like astrology and crystals. Like, that's my mom's vibe. And she actually was born into a Mormon family and ended up being super spiritual as she is now.
Wow.
So she's just an open person in general, like the most unjudgmental woman you'll ever meet. So
That
I
is
think
awesome.
I gained a lot of that from her. I hope.
That's so nice. Yeah. Oh, that's so refreshing.
Mom.
Now I want to meet her. Where is she?
Like, Mom.
Can she like come on the podcast?
Literally. Oh my God.
love
She
it.
loves to talk. She'd love that.
That's amazing. We'll get it scheduled. Okay, so I want to pivot a little bit. Thank you for sharing
Yes.
your coming out and all of these elements of your background. Because again, like, people know you, like, they see everyone sees one side of all of us on social media. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you know. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
they see the modeling, they see a very, like, I think a glamorous life. And
You think my life looks glamorous?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, like the travel and like just different stuff.
Yeah.
It's always cool to kind of find out where someone comes from and the background.
I totally agree. That's what
Yeah.
it's all about.
So pivoting a little bit.
Ooh.
I want to talk about, okay, this is something that you and I, I'm like nervous to talk about
I'm
it.
going to take a sip of water.
Yeah, let me take a sip of water too.
Should we just like put it on the mic like
Yes, exactly.
water break?
It's a good commercial except that it's not branded water, but shoot, that would have been great.
Branded water.
Los Angeles tap water.
Yeah. Ooh.
Through the Brita.
Oh, God. I was like, I didn't come here to get poisoned.
You're like, this is swamp water? It might as well be like swamp water.
Mom, please come pick me up. I'm scared.
Pick me up. Help. No, Brita. Okay, so Brita, thank you.
Shout out to Britta.
Shout out to Brita. So this is a conversation that we've talked about, and I want to be very careful and very clear about how we're talking about it.
Yes.
Are we going to name names about the celebrity that we're talking about or no?
I think that that's up for interpretation.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Like, how do I formulate this?
We're literally just a girl.
So
I have purse. What?
So there is a celebrity who last year blew up, became very beloved by many in the queer community, still is. And she identified as bi, which was amazing for us bisexuals.
Great news for us.
It was great because we deal with still a lot of biphobia. Even this past Pride Month, like, I saw more than ever.
So many stigmas.
So much. And like just the lack of bi visibility, even though we are the majority like demo in the LGBTQ plus community.
So valid, yeah.
So I think with all that said, to see a bi woman be so loved by like queer women.
It's empowering.
It was really empowering. It's
empowering to have representation because, you know, if you are bi or pan or fluid and you're listening to this, whether you're a woman or a man or non-binary or whatever, you know how much hate you get from both sides. Like,
yes.
You are not just getting the straight people in your face like it's a phase, or like you just haven't found the right man yet,
right? Or
like if you're a man and you're bi, they're gonna say, no dude, you're gay, whatever. And then you get the discourse from the community, which is like, oh, you've slept with a man, like you're not like good enough to be a part of this group, or like just these and then many lesbians will also feel like just nervous to date a bisexual woman because they're afraid of them leaving them or cheating on them. There's so many misconceptions. There's like a huge list.
There's so many, like bi women. People think and conflate bisexuality with polyamory. They're completely different things. One is a relationship orientation. One is sexual orientation.
Absolutely.
So you can be like, I'm a monogamous, you're a monogamous, bi, pan, whatever people. So it's like, there's that. There's the being worried that the bi woman is going to leave you for a man and like just whatever. So to have somebody that is respected and not hyper sexualized at the same time, okay? Because and that's important to say, because there are people who are out as bi, whether maybe Emrata is a good example, but she is hyper sexualized. She's not respected as like a queer woman because of that, and not that she doesn't deserve the respect, but that's just kind of like the way media can flip things. And to have somebody who was really respected and not like, you know, exploited sexually, and it was just great. So when me and Whitney saw the news that was like, so-and-so is out as lesbian, obviously, like, it's not about us. It's about her and if she's happy. But also at the same time, we were kind of like, another one bites the dust. Yes, exactly. And like, that's the thing is like, we're not here to police how anybody identifies or put anyone down for any, like, I'm happy for her. I love that we're not saying this. I'm so happy for her. But like there was real grief, like a sinking feeling that I felt when I found that out. Like, oh man, that sucks, because that was really, because you know what? I like to use myself as an example, because I wrote a book. I wrote a poetry book. And another thing that you might not know. Fun fact. I'm actually going somewhere with this, so stay with me. I wrote a book. You can buy it now on Amazon.
Literally shout out. I wrote a poetry book. I published the book a few months into dating Laura. So a majority of the book was written prior to being in a relationship with Laura. There are a few poems about her. You can go find them if you feel. But, you know, those poems were about men. And when I was writing those, they came from my heart. And in my opinion, when you create beautiful art and you write deep things like that, it's real. I can't just write something beautiful and deep and without that emotion behind it, you know, that real feeling. And so I will never erase that part of me. I will never say, like, I don't think I could ever confidently say I'm a lesbian, even though I don't look at anybody. Like, I just love my girlfriend. And like, I do find myself, like, if anything, only interested, leaning towards women. But that doesn't erase like my history of who I am. And I think like when you put out an album as an artist, an entire album that, you know, is about men that you deeply cared about, that you were hurt by, that is that beautiful and deep and meaningful. And then I don't know. And then you're just like, no, none of it was real. For me, as the reason why I like to say bullshit. Oh my God, please don't come after me. I'm literally just a girl. I just say bullshit because for me, like if in my heart, if I were to say that, like I'm a lesbian, I'd be like, I know it's bullshit. Like you know, and like I don't know if people know that you've been engaged.
Yeah, so I was engaged. if you don't know, it's actually part of the podcast intro. I forgot.
Okay.
If you listen to the intro episode, you know that I was engaged to a man, and I've liked many men in my life, but I was very much in love with my ex, obviously, and I would never
feel
take that back or
to
denounce
take it back.
that.
Yeah,
it's just like I don't know, and like it's so tricky because I know no one can speak to someone's individual experience, but to your point, you write an entire album about like your romance and love with like this guy or whoever. I don't even know who it's about, but it's about a guy.
Yeah. She says pronouns and stuff.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. I would love to know people's thoughts and like, don't be aggressive and come at us because I know there's stands out there and that's very important to have.
Yeah.
But also like, what do you guys think? Do you think that there is somebody who is good by representation? And let us know because I feel like we're missing that. But someone that's not sexually like exploited as well, like,
right, highly sexualized.
I don't know because I feel like society like sexualizes bi women already.
Yeah,
that I feel like you're a good representation.
Oh, so are you then?
Oh, thanks.
I mean, if we're but yeah, that I guess to be able to have a conversation about this was important, about this person who we haven't named, but you maybe have deduced who it is. It's important to talk about it because I think it's a testament to like where we are in the community and how like we still really do need that representation and respect and like it was just, I think it's okay to acknowledge that it was a loss for the bi community.
It was, whether it was real or not or whatever they say. It doesn't really matter. It's more about like the principle of it, of what we're saying is that like you will be more respected within the community if you say that you're a lesbian. And I know that because I have been bullied online. I have been by lesbians. Y'all are intense sometimes.
There is a subset for sure.
There's definitely like, I don't know, like I feel like I've seen all the forums. I've seen what people write, and like it really
like chat, like forums.
Like it really sucks to read something that's like, oh, Kari's just another bi girl who's gonna cheat on Lara and like go do this. Like that hurts because it just hurts the community in general because
Absolutely.
it's like you're not helping with the stigmas, and if anything like LGBTQIA plus we should all be together,
right? Why do things that cause division? And I realize that there might be people in the comments watching this and being like, well, you're being lesbophobic. No, we're not.
What?
This is not.
I'm dating a lesbian. I love my lesbian.
Every
time that I remember that she's a lesbian, no, swear to God. Like sometimes I'll look at her and I'll be like, oh yeah, you're like totally a lesbian. And then I'm like, that's sexy. Like, I don't know. Like I just like, I'm like,
so amazing.
Like you're pure.
Yeah, no. Yeah. But it's like, we have to be able to have hard conversations without it being called like calling out problematic behavior toward bi women without it being called lesbophobia, because it's not. I have no fear or aversion, which is the meaning of the word. I have no fear or aversion or bad feelings toward lesbians in general, but there is a subset that like really continues to perpetuate biphobia. Yeah. And it's fucked up and I'm sick of it. I'm tired. I'm so tired. Oh my God.
Well, I mean, if you're listening to this, it's by design. So I'm sure relate on some level, I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was something that you and I have talked about, is that sort of that loss of that person.
I don't know. Was I talking to you or another friend and they were like, well, what about like Madison Beer? And I was like,
yeah.
She is too. But I also feel like there's something about Madison that isn't like given queer respect.
Yeah. I don't even think of her. Maybe it's just because I'm not super in the loop on her in general, but
me neither. But I feel somebody mentioned it, but I'm like, I feel like maybe I need to see her. I want her to date a woman. That would be great.
Yeah.
Madison.
We know people that we could like hook you up with if you're looking.
Honestly, that would be great. That would be the perfect representation.
It would. Also, like Billie Eilish with this album.
Oh, that's true.
But she has not labeled herself, and that's okay.
She's not going to label herself. I don't think I think she's like, I have intel because I'm not going to say who, but the person who's my intel that knows her, just says that she loves everybody.
Okay.
She's into everybody.
So wouldn't that be bi or pan? I mean,
I feel like she's more like a pan girl, but that's maybe just me speaking from a place of pan.
Yeah. Right. Well, bisexuality is attraction to more than one gender. Pansexuality is attraction regardless of gender. That's the difference. It's very much like a semantics thing, and there can be overlap.
Truly. Yeah.
Because like for me, at this point, like my partner is recently came out as transmasc non-binary, and so like a moment for that. So yeah, like in the past, I would have probably said that, oh, that's more pansexual, but really it's bi too. It can be bi.
It's bi. Like, I think so when somebody is trans, they want to be recognized for the gender that they are inside. And so if they are a trans man and they want to be, recognized as a man, then you could still say it was bi.
Right.
I think as far as pan is more like non-binary.
You think? Because I feel like, I don't know, it can be.
It's just in general.
It's like,
it's so hard.
We need a Venn diagram.
It's so hard. You know what I think though? I think that when I think of being bisexual, I think of it more of like attracted to like the parts, like I could like have sex with like those parts or those parts. And when I think of being pan, I think of it as like I'm looking at their souls, like, oh, these souls are nice, and I connect with them that way. And so sometimes I could feel like I'm both, or I could also feel like maybe as I get older, I'm more and more pan, just because I just want to like love someone for who they are. Yeah. No, I do relate to that for sure, because like it is like I've said that before. I've said like it's the soul. I fall in love with a nice, sexy soul. Yeah. I fall in love with a human, exactly, not a gender. And I guess again, for some bi people there is overlap, and for others there's not. Like there are bi people who are only attracted to cisgender men and cisgender women. Okay, yeah, true.
But then there's also bi people who there are additional genders on the menu.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like it really is.
For me, it
really is by design.
It's by design, exactly. Ching. Yeah.
So yeah,
for me, I don't care who you are. I got a woman. I love my woman.
That's right.
Exactly. I'm like, I don't care. Yeah. I'm nothing. I always say I'm a. Well, when I got my wisdom teeth taken out, Laura has a video of me, and I said, I'm a lesbian.
I love that.
So that's how I identify.
A lesbian. You need a shirt that says lesbian.
Yeah, I was actually calling my mom. I was crying.
A lesbian. I'm a lesbian. Perfect. So okay, I think we covered the big things that I really wanted to get to. I think, is there anything that you wanted to talk about?
Oh my gosh.
I'm like flipping the script here. I just didn't know.
Oh my gosh. Sorry guys. I'm like very like fidgety.
Yeah, no.
These track pants are probably. Well, what other questions do you have?
So the other question was, are we going to get into Gaylor?
I'm so annoyed with her. Like, I'm mad at her. Like, does anybody else feel mad at Taylor? I don't know. I just like
go off.
I have like had some
everyone's gonna hate us after this episode between the other person and this person.
Oh my god, I have strong opinions.
No,
guys, I am a Swiftie. Like I am.
We both are hardcore.
Yeah, we are big Swifties. I just feel I don't know. I don't want people to attack me.
I just feel bored. I feel bored with this specific relationship.
Oh, well, yeah, of course, because we want to see some girl on girl action.
But like, honestly, even before like Harry Styles or like Who else? Jake Gyllenhaal.
No. Here's the thing. I have been a gayler for a long time. I still feel that way, but sometimes I do feel like she's bamboozling us a bit lately. I'm like, okay, you like okay, how do I say this? In the environment that we're in, being gay, if you haven't noticed, at least in America and, you know, on the coasts, it is widely accepted right now. It is trending, if anything.
It's the summer of sapphics now.
I mean, look at this. You know, Chappell Roan, you have Renee Rapp, you have Billie Eilish. Like, you have so many icons.
So many.
In what way, in what world would Queen Taylor, with all the speculation about being gay, all of these things, be afraid to just say, yes, I'm bi? Like, and everyone is always going to fight it and be like, well, because it's her business and her whatever. I'm like, she invites us into her business more than any other.
Yeah. And she
any other celebrity
created this culture of looking for Easter eggs. So she wanted us to psychoanalyze everything that she was doing.
She's not writing hairpin drop into a song. She is
right. She knows what she's doing every step of the way.
She reads literature and she's very smart. And so those are the things that I'm like, she's honestly a genius. She's very smart. She's leaving us Easter eggs. She had the whole, you know, pride thing that she was getting at in the Lover era.
That's so
and
true.
I'm just annoyed with her because I'm like, I don't want to throw the word out, but were you queer baiting us? Because like, it's not that scary for you to say that you're coming out. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, here's the thing. If she is in fact bi, which is what people suspect because she had a bi flag bracelet on in the Lover
and the bi hair
and the bi hair
and the lesbian references in her music.
Right. So it's like, if she's bi, it's perfectly valid for her to be dating Travis Kelce.
Exactly.
That's fine. I'm just bored with that relationship, not because it's a man, but just in general. And I'm also annoyed.
For me, it's because it's a man.
That's valid. But like, I think it's also the fact that like, I just want to know what happened with Karlie Kloss.
Like, when can
definitively?
We know? I want to know.
We're never in the modeling industry. You don't know anything. You don't have any tea.
I mean, honestly, like, no, I don't. I think
the NDAs were like,
I think anything that comes with Taylor is like a real NDA. Like, you hear rumors. Like, I know things about a lot of like celebrities and like all your favorite creators. Like, I know the scoop. Yeah. But like, Taylor is tough.
Yeah.
She's tough.
It's Fort Knox. Like, there's no.
Yeah,
it would be so hard to get tea.
Yeah,
I think.
Which is also why I don't know. Anyway, I'm still a gayler because I think it's fun for me. You know, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I just hope someday. I just want confirmation that Kayla.
we just want. This is selfish. Okay, they're gonna be like, these girls want everyone to just do what they want, and the answer to that is yes, we do. And if you're not on board, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't.
And that's fine. That's fine. Not everyone has to agree. This is not for everyone.
So did Laura talk about me on her podcast yesterday? I asked her.
You'll have to wait and see.
What is what? I was like, baby. She came home and I was like, so how was hanging out with Whitney? Like, what were the questions? Like, I was like, hi, baby. And she was like, you'll just have to wait and see. I was like, first of all, I was like, me and Laura tell each other everything. Like, we love to debrief. We like to say everything.
You gotta debrief.
There was barely any debriefing. I was like, she's like, you're gonna have to wait and see. I was like, now you're mysterious. Ooh.
I think she's just wanting my podcast to get as many listens as possible. So if she doesn't tell you, you have to listen to the full episode.
I would listen to it anyway.
Of course. Yeah.
So she said, I'm really pretty.
She said, you're the prettiest girl in the world, and no one's ever been prettier.
I believe that. She tells me that every day.
Yeah.
She does. Honestly, me and Laura, I feel like we are so cheesy lately. We're like the most in love we've ever been. Like,
I love that. I love that because you have been together for you said 4 years, coming up on 4 years. So yeah, like it's really nice to see that it doesn't like fizzle out after the first year or 6 months. Like,
well, you know,
it rejuvenates.
I will say that like you see it fizzle out because I feel like, yeah, me and Laura are public on TikTok too, but I feel like when you see those TikTok relationships fizzle out and stuff, it's like they started there. Like I feel like you set yourself up for failure when you like get into a relationship and like make it your whole identity.
Yeah.
Like you have to have something for yourself, like the way that you have the podcast and like, you know, like Laura has her DJing and like you have to have something that's for you.
Absolutely. That is so crucial. And it's funny because like my partner will make TikToks if I really want them to, but like they're very much not on social media.
Not their thing. Like then that's totally that's totally fine. And like I don't know, it just you have to really just also remember that anything that you're putting on social media is just so two-dimensional. It's not real. Like I mean it's real, but it's like now I'm gonna be misunderstood. It's real, it's just like it's not like what's the most important thing.
Yes.
And people really get carried away because we were saying like there's a huge popularity contest. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
And
the TikTok crowd.
Doesn't need to be a contest. Like put out your content because you want to, not because you're trying to compete with somebody.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so this actually feels like a really good note to sort of end on. What would you want people listening or watching who follow you and are here because they follow you and they love you? What would you want them to know about you? Like in terms of, I don't know, like the real you or like real life, like social media is not showing everything. Is there anything you'd like want them to know?
Yeah. So to be completely vulnerable.
Ooh. Ooh, we're going there.
I'm going to speak on behalf of Laura with me just because I feel like we're such a unit, but Laura and I are just really big dreamers and we don't really find value in like the views and the likes and the parties that you see that we go to and all those things. Like most of the time we are really just interested in our futures and our goals together and supporting our families and like just really taking care of ourselves spiritually. And I don't really post about that, but I spend a lot of my time like with my astrology and doing tarot cards and manifesting. And Laura and I are just like the biggest like little work all day and then like stay home and cuddle cheese balls. Like I don't know.
They really are. And I know this because we're real life friends.
We just like, exactly. And we just like, I don't know, like I do, like you said, I do like have a glamorous life and I post all the best things. And
don't we all?
Yeah, don't we all?
Most of us do.
And we're very lucky, but I think like Laura and I are never going to pretend to be something we're not, all of these glamorous things we do, like I don't know if we completely resonate with them.
Yeah.
Like we do go to like parties and whatever, but we're always looking at each other like, what is going on?
Yeah. Like you're in these rooms with these people, but you kind of feel like you don't like almost an imposter syndrome in a way.
Imposter syndrome 100%. I don't think I've ever fit in to the cool girls. I actually, like, to be completely honest, I still feel like that I'm not the cool girl, you know? And like I never was like that in school. I didn't really stick with the cliques, and I think even now dipping our toes into the lesbian community, there's cliques, guys. There's cliques here in LA. And I'm 27, so like I thought I was done with like that stuff. As far as like the modeling scene cliques, and now there's new cliques, and I'm just kind of like still feeling like I'm not one of those cool girls, and like I definitely have that all the time. I feel.
Yeah.
But I've become more and more okay with it, you know? And it's fine because I have my partner and we're so freaking weird and we're like the same person and we're just like, it's fine. Like we have each other. Like
you guys really are like yin and yang because you're different, but at the same time, like, I don't know, you complement each other in ways that it just fits together.
I appreciate you saying that. I feel the same. I'm literally obsessed with her.
Yeah.
We were like today, like before we left, I was like, we do baby voice a lot. Don't judge. I'm like, you're gonna leave me again today, and she's like, I know. And I was gone all day yesterday, and I was like, and tomorrow, and we were like, I'm never gonna see you again. Like I probably ask Laura every single day, like, do you even love me anymore?
Oh.
When she's like kissing me and she
and you're just, it's
like
just funny.
Validate
just,
me.
Yes.
She does the same.
With the reassurance.
She
it's
does
just
the
like,
same.
like, do you even care?
Yeah, like, do you even
she'll
care? Literally be like serving me dinner, and I'll be like, do you love me at all?
Do you even love me?
I'll be like, you haven't kissed me in 10 minutes.
Yeah, but like valid. Like you just want. I'm literally gonna pass away if I don't get a kiss every 10 minutes on the dot.
Kari's judgmental to all the stars that are coming out as lesbian, and she's very needy and clingy, and she makes Laura serve her dinner and kiss her.
These are the takeaways. No.
I'm sorry. I'm just scared. I'm so scared of the internet. Oh my God.
I know. I hate that. Like that is one of the things with like, wow, we're really pulling the fourth wall is down now.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
but like,
I'm so scared of you.
I'm scared.
I am scared of the internet, which is crazy because I've been like putting myself on the internet for so long.
That's what, we as content creators and now with this podcast, like it's what we do, but at the same time, because
it's we're
scary.
People pleasers, and like I do want to be like, you know, I always like want to be like, it's normal, it's human nature,
and you don't want to be misunderstood. I think that's
the biggest
thing. It's like if you understand me and you don't like me, fine, but if you misunderstand and you don't like me, then I'm like, no, I need to.
Yeah, because you know what? Actually, because to be honest, for all the people who are misunderstanding and they're like, oh, like they're saying this about the unnamed artist or whatever you're gonna say, it's like you're telling me that you've never just like sat with like your girly pop friends and like said some like out of pocket thing,
right?
And you're doing it now, but in the comments,
right?
That's weird,
right?
I'm like defending myself to nothing happening.
Please. No, you got to get ahead of it. You got to get ahead of it. No, but I think that's the biggest thing is we all, like, not to get really philosophical, but like we do all just want to be understood and seen.
Yeah.
Seen and understood, and
that's what this is all about.
That is. It's what it's all about. Exactly.
It really is. So we love you guys.
Yes. Thank you for watching
and
this
listening
episode
to this
and
roller coaster.
And thank you for coming on.
Thanks
by
for
design.
having me on your nice velvet green couch.
I love it's so perfect that you noticed it because I noticed it, but not before I booked the Airbnb, maybe subconsciously. But I was like, I'm waiting for the first person to notice.
It's literally perfect.
And I knew I could count on you.
Now you have to buy one so that all of your future podcasts are on a
Yeah, because I'm filming this in an Airbnb in LA. I don't live here, so like the background is going to be changing in every episode.
It's okay.
It's fine.
Switch it up. You know, it's by design.
It's
Mic drop. And on that note,
cheers.